Hello, y'all. I have my beautiful cousin in the house for my podcast. What would you do? What would Jesus do? Sorry, y'all. Not what we do. What would Jesus do? And we covering the book of Ruth today with conversation and with testimonies. So I'm
Okay.
gonna let her introduce herself. Take it away, cuz.
Hi. All right. Hi, guys. My name is Juanetta. Of course, she just introduced me as her cousin. Fun fact, I named her Rita. I am really proud to be here on this podcast and this journey with my cousin. I just want to let you know I am so proud of you. And
Thank
honestly,
you.
what you're doing is what I want to do for is getting closer with God. So this is actually helping me as well as us coming together doing this podcast and talking about, God and what He's done for us and so many others. So I'm really proud to be here with you.
Yes, and I'm so happy that my family is joining us because we was raised in the church, and my grandma and granddaddy will love this moment that we
Yes.
getting closer to God and learning about God. They will love it
Mhm.
definitely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I want you to give me a quick summary on the Book of Ruth.
Wow, the Book of Ruth had so many little nuggets in it. I mean, from faith, redemption, and loyalty. So many things, moving parts going on, and I mean, I can relate to some things, and some things I know that God is like working on me. Like, girl, you got to get better with doing certain stuff. But um, and I think all of us can agree with that. But just the loyalty was really big for me of how Ruth was so loyal to Naomi, even all through the tragedy of losing her husband. And I think just her seeing everything that Naomi lost and just wanting to be there for her was like a really big thing. And I think that's what we're missing, loyalty, um, in this world right now. No one is really loyal to anyone anymore. And just loving on one another. I mean, I really truly believe Ruth really loved Naomi.
Yeah,
So and that's what God is. The first commandment is love one another. So that's something that we really need to work on.
yeah. Well, love Him first, and then we'll love one
Well,
another.
yeah, of course, of course.
Yes. And you know one thing about Ruth and Naomi, and like you just said, it's loyalty is very rare, but a lot of sacrifice come with loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get this until I think about grandma and granddaddy all the time. The sacrifices they made to keep us together and stuff like that. A lot of people was doubting it and
Right.
everything, but you know that is hard, especially when you have, things, you want to do things.
Mm-hmm.
So, this book is so deep and it's so little. It got so much nuggets. So, out of
Mm-hmm.
Oprah and Ruth, who you think you would have been like in that
Ooh.
situation?
Oh my goodness. Um. Oh, that's hard. Honestly, I'm gonna be real honest right now. I probably would have been Oprah at
Yeah.
first. Um, because just think about you're leaving a place that you've known. You're leaving
Mhm.
all of your values, everything you learned as a child into adult, every to a unknown place. Like I'm
Yeah.
leaving my family behind to go here to the unknown. So I mean, for me, that's something that I'm working on. The fear. That's something I pray that works on me about the unknown
Yeah.
because that in itself for me is scary. So I, to be honest, I'm not gonna sit here and tell a lie. I probably would
Yeah.
have been Oprah, Oprah for that beginning part.
Yeah.
But
Honestly, I feel
what
like
about
it's
yourself?
no right or wrong answer. I think I would have been Ruth because I'm a kind of
You
like
think
a
you would have been Ruth?
daredevil. And I done stuck around for every friendship. And
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
can attest to
Yeah.
it. Friendship, I just stuck
Mhm.
around. Even, I don't know. It's just, I mean, with family, I've been in grandma's house for so
Right.
many years, so I kind of want to stir off into the wild. So that's why I kind of left
Mhm.
at a young
Mhm.
age and stuff like that. But I've been down like four flat tires, no matter if it was good, bad, or I don't know. I think a lot of that kind of grandma rubbed off on me with that. Just hanging in there. And it usually screwed me up. So I feel like it's no right or wrong answer because we don't know where Oprah went. What if God took her
Right.
to a different place? You feel me?
Yeah.
We don't know where she went.
We don't
But
know, but in the scripture it was talking about where they left from. They had gods, like plural, like
oh yeah,
their
yeah,
belief
yeah, yeah,
and
that's
stuff.
true.
So um
I
the
forgot
one
about
good
that
thing that I
part.
loved about Ruth is she wanted Naomi God to be her God. She was like, wherever you go, I go.
Yeah.
Whoever you worship, I'ma worship. So her being obedient, stepping out in faith, that's where the faith come out, stepping out in faith and just going with Naomi was her blessing in disguise. Like
Yeah,
she
it
didn't even
was.
know what she was walking into, but on that journey she was blessed, during those difficulty times. And I think that's where a lot of us, including myself, sometimes want to jump ship because
Hmm.
the uncertainty, the difficulty, like, nah, this is too difficult. I'm gonna get off at this stop right here.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a big person of wanting to step out, but I've been learning to step in, like, go along with the ride. I don't know where God is taking me, but he's making a way out of no way.
Yes.
So he's done it in my life numerous of times, and I don't know why I still have that fear of, oh my God, the unknown. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but he's gonna make a way. He's definitely
You've
gonna
been
make a way.
definitely walking with faith, and hey, I'm proud of you on all sorts of levels. I'm proud because you have been, and the thing about it is with Naomi, I mean with Ruth, is she was humble with it because
Mm-hmm.
they went back to Naomi country and she worked in the field and everything. She was just humbly, and then when we get to Boaz, she did everything Ruth told
Mm-hmm.
her to do. I mean, no, Naomi told her to
Yeah.
do with Boaz. So,
Mm-hmm.
man, yeah, it's the
And
humbleness too. And the
that's what I'm
Bible
saying.
talks
Like,
about humble a lot, being humble.
I think a lot of us have a problem, an issue with being humble. We take it as somebody trying to tell us what to do. Some of us can't take constructive criticism. Like I think a lot of us still just want to be in control of everything, and we got to realize none of us in control of anything. God is in
Saying
control of everything.
everything, every single thing.
Right? We are not in control of anything. He's in control of everything, which goes to say for me, with my job, well, I don't discuss what I do or whatever, but with this new job journey that I'm in, when I say I fought against it, oh my God, I fought against it every way. But every time I said, no, I'm not going to do it, he opened up another door. And I'm like, this is not for me. I can't get this. Every
Yeah,
time I want to give up, he opened up another door. I'm like, okay, all right, God, I guess this is meant to be, because every time I want to give up and quit, you open up that door and make a way. So
yeah,
I'm trusting him now. I'm learning to trust him. He put you in certain situations that's uncomfortable to build you up.
yeah.
So
That's
I'm
true.
learning uncomfortable is to better yourself. It's not necessarily to hurt you. It's just to pull out things that's in you that he's seeing you that you don't even see in yourself.
That's true. I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
everybody' journey is different. We got to realize that, like, I think society and government and everything made us feel like everybody's journey is the same and we have to do the same thing. We all have different walks in life,
Mm-hmm.
but that's true. But the next question is, now we ain't get down to the Boaz yet. I don't even know if I
Yes.
pronounced the man's name right.
Yeah, Boaz. You're right. You're right.
Boaz. Okay. But I mean, at this age, we learn from relationships, from our needs and our wants.
Mm-hmm.
Our needs and our wants.
True.
So God give us what we need, but we always try to get what we want, especially out of
Yeah.
relationships. Out of relationships.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
So with the Boaz situation,
I'm
what
ready.
do
Go
you
ahead and ask. Go ahead and ask the question.
what do you think about that? Like what like Ruth was, I mean, Naomi was in her right to go say, "Get dressed up, girl. Put on some perfume, take a bath," and like, but Boaz like say, "I got another man for you," and if he don't work out, how would have felt in that moment in 2025?
Ugh,
That would have been your
the
last time.
rejection. I'm not gonna say he didn't really reject her, but he was going in lineage order. He was going in, what was right for that
Yeah.
time. So for that time, it went to who was priority and first in line, and then who's next in line. So basically, he was just saying like, I don't want to overstep anybody. I want to
Hmm.
do it the right way. So doing it the right way, therefore won't be no problems or mishaps later on. Like, oh, I should have had her. It wouldn't be no disgruntled or hard feelings. So he did the right. I mean, I wouldn't have felt bad in that way, thinking about it that way, but I can't pick. I can't choose. I give up. My pickings are horrible. So
Everybody,
I have to have, huh? I
my
have to have God to come down and put somebody in my life, because my pickings are, I don't want my needs. I want, I need God needs for me. I don't want, if I feel like it's something I want, it ain't for me because I picked the wrong, not happening. Not
okay.
happening.
Let me tell you something. This is my third time reading this book. Today I read it again. I was listening to it at work
Mm-hmm.
today, and I had just got like a new, a new something out of it, because the other day I was listening to a preacher, and he was like saying what is a contract versus a covenant.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about this because since I've been reading the Bible, I'm thinking about all my relationships. We never really got down into God like that, except me and Jonathan. Like me and Jonathan went to church and stuff like that, and really talked
Mm-hmm.
about God and our favorite scriptures and stuff. And I'm saying, at this age of 39, I want a God fearing man. We going to church.
Absolutely.
We going
Absolutely.
to church. We getting that spirit up
Absolutely.
in us one way or another. But thinking about this whole
And
passage here, I feel like Boaz was more of a covenant, because that other man he wanted to put him off. He said, "No, I'm gonna lose too much." I don't know what version you
mm-hmm.
read. I read the NLV
No,
version.
no, no, no. It was the same. It was the same.
Yeah,
It's the
and
same.
Boaz knew her, saw her for that little bit of time, and he was like, "God, as the Lord is my witness, basically, I would do it if the renderer won't do it."
Right.
Yeah, so
And he also.
I feel like something about a God fearing man. I'm sorry to cut you. Is
No.
we got to look into their idols, what they idolize, because a lot of men nowadays, I always hear them saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna get married because they may take everything from me and stuff like that." I mean, like, do you love me or do you don't? Like, you feel me? Or I just it has to be God first. That's my new thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because if God is not in the midst of the relationship and or marriage, that's where the enemy come in and destroying, put in lies, and bring other people in a relationship, and it falls apart. And if you don't have a man or a woman who believes in God, that means they can believe in anything. And I just don't have the time for someone, we building something something happen and they get all stressed out, worried out. They can't think, they can't eat, and they just go sit somewhere and soak. I need somebody who's like, you know what, God got this. I'm just gonna keep doing what I
Yes.
gotta do. He's gonna bless us, and we just keep moving on. I just I'm like you. If you're not God oriented, or at least wanting to know more about God and getting into the Word and your faith, I there's no room over here.
Okay. Period.
There's no room.
Period. Because
Over
I hear some people just be so stressed out over this. Like, what is this? This is nothing. This is
Yep.
nothing. It's supposed to be we becoming one or nothing. Like, it ain't
Right.
all of everything else, everybody else. That's idols. Like, it's
Yeah.
so easy to say that you believe in God. It's so easy to say it. But God put you through tests, especially with relationships. Like,
Mm-hmm.
ever since I got into this Bible, I can just see it, hear it, everything. It's just fear, worry, anxiety. Do you believe in
Yeah.
God or not?
And don't get me wrong, we're gonna feel these emotions, but God doesn't want us to stay in it. Like, we're gonna go through things because we're still here on this earth. So it's not like we're not gonna feel it. It's just, are you gonna stay in this one area, or are you gonna put your trust in God and know, yeah, it's okay to be upset, but like God said, you can't stay in it. Like, you're gonna go through the emotion, but now what you're gonna do next? You get mad. That's me. I'm not gonna lie. I go through my emotions, but when I get home, I get my Bible, I read, I even cry, I weep, whatever it is to get it out. But I go to my word, and after I read my word and I cry and do whatever I got to do, I'm okay. Like, it's like God lifted that off of, yeah, whenever you going through this, but at the end of the day, you know that I'm here.
Yeah.
So don't I don't mind people going through the motion. I just want to know how long you gonna stay in that place. Like, are you gonna stay mad all night long, or are you gonna be like, okay, whew, take a deep breath, I'm okay, read my word. God said, ask and it be given, knock, the door be open. Just go through with your emotions, but don't sit in it, because that's what a lot
Yeah.
of people do. That's where depression come in. This is where suicidal thoughts come in. We People just sit in those emotions, and they just don't know what to do with it,
Sometimes
because
it's just like the book of Job though. Sometimes, that weeping may take a year. Like the grief, it may take a
mm-hmm,
year, but you just know that you're still faithful to the Lord. Because
of course.
it's just like I didn't even know how long I grieved for. I'm getting over it now because once I start moving on to the next thing, it's like I'm coming out of it. And I know I've been down these roads before for me, Yeah, but I don't never like put it out to nobody or nothing. It's just between me and God, me and God. But once I start getting back up, I'm taking off. Just like
Yeah.
Naomi. Naomi, her sons died, her husband died. She took, hey, it's time for me to go back home.
Yeah.
And she go back home, the people like, dang, what you doing here? Ain't this Naomi? And she's like, don't call me Naomi, call me
Call
Myra.
me Mara. Between bitter. Between bitter. Yes, call me Mara. I know
What
I
would
was
be
looking up
your
the name.
name if they
Yeah, I
if
was
they
looking
had
up
to
the
call you?
yeah, her son, her son's name was Sickly, meaning sickly and failing. Like, I was getting deep into it. I was looking up the names, what they mean, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's why I said this book had a lot of nuggets in it. Um like a happy ending. Like, you go through certain things, but at the end it was a happy ending. Just like Boaz said about Ruth, she could have had a younger man, but she didn't
Hmm.
go for them. She
Yeah,
didn't go. So
yeah, that was real deep. And Boaz come
mhm.
from um the king of King David. That was his grandfather.
Yes, and it comes to find out, I was going even deeper, that they were saying that Ruth ended up being, um, was it Jesus' grandmother or great grandmother?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Great. So by her being obedient and leaving from where she left, she now became, a part of Jesus's lineage.
Yeah.
Just think of how awesome that she would have never went with her and just went back to her people, what she would have missed out on.
Yes, man. It's deep. It's real deep. And it's one
Yeah.
the whole Bible is so good. It's such a good spiritual book.
Mm-hmm.
But this book right here has so much meaning. It's like all the little books have a lot of meaning. Because
Yeah.
it's,
Impact. Mm-hmm.
it's crazy. But okay, so I think we covered Ruth, but the closing question is what would you would have told your younger self in relationships? Since we on the book of Ruth,
Woo.
what could you go back and tell your younger self about relationships? You
I would
saying
tell
this
my
because of the younger people that's watching? You may give them a little
mhm.
nuggets.
I would tell myself is make sure you love yourself first. Make
Amen.
sure, yeah, you have to love yourself first. Set boundaries for yourself when it comes to relationships. Most definitely, take your time. Don't go for what's always the in thing or the in person. You know,
Amen. What's
don't do
trending?
that. Don't do that. Ask questions. Ask questions about that person. You know, see how they treat their family. See, um, how they are in school, how their grades are, what their goals are. Like, you know, just take your time. I would really tell myself to take my time and don't be
Mhm.
so eager to be in a relationship. Just love on yourself. Love yourself first.
Amen. You know, that's one thing I learned. You have to love yourself first and know what you want. But you know, my number one
Mhm.
thing is a God fearing man. That's my number
Yeah,
one
absolutely.
thing. And
Absolutely.
when I say God fearing, I don't mean no pastor, preacher, apostle. I mean just a person that just God fearing, like let go, let go,
Yeah.
let God kind of person. But I thank you so much, cuz man. I'm so happy that
Oh, you're
y'all
welcome.
supporting me.
Of course, honey. Anytime, anytime.
And
I'll
I
be
just want
glad to come back to do another show if you would have me.
oh, I definitely will. I definitely will. Thank you for saying that, because I will.
Of course.
But thank you. I'm going to, chop it up. Y'all subscribe and hit the notification bell for some more. Thank you. Love you,
Yes.
cuz.
You're well. I do have one question before we go.
Okay, let's get it.
What what made you come up with the name Crazy Lady?
Oh, crazy Christian lady.
Yes.
Because when I was younger, I tell you, you know how grandma used to drill church down our throat all the time. Like we
Hmm.
used to have to go to church a lot when we was younger, and I don't know. I just thought a lot of them people was crazy Christians. Like they used to be like, I didn't get it. Like coming from home and then just seeing them, and they used to be so hyped. And
Hmm.
it I believed in God. I prayed. I talked to God. But some Christians was just over the top with it. And then when I'm getting closer to God now, I say I'm gonna call myself crazy Christian lady because now I'm all crazy for God. That's
Okay, okay.
basically
I
where
see
it
how
kind of
you came up with the name. Okay, I like it. I like it. It makes
yeah.
sense.
So it's just like me talking about
Well,
them, but
good
I'm gonna
luck.
put my talking about I talked about them, so now I'm the person.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Now you know how it is. Now you see why they was going crazy.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. I get. Well, good luck on your journey.
Thank you.
I wish you many, many more. Get to come on, people subscribe. We gotta get some more people on her
Yes.
show. We gotta get this book. There's so many books. There's so many chapters we can go over. So it's
Yeah, I'm
endless.
gonna call you definitely.
Endless.
It's probably gonna be next week or the week after next. For sure, for sure.
Okay. Okay. No. All right. Well, you take care.
You too. Have a good night.
You
Bye.
too.